something come to be. Here comes the king. Stand aside. Here comes the king. Here comes the king. Stand aside. Stand aside. Shaking his hips and playing his licks. Here comes the king. All right. Still today, 60 years down the road, something about this record is never getting old. Here comes the king. Stand aside. Here comes the king. Here comes the king. Stand aside. Stand aside. With guitar in hand, up front in the band. Here comes the king. Shaking his hips and playing the licks. Here comes the king. Stand aside. Here comes the king. Guitar in hand, up front in the band. Here comes the king. Here comes the king. Yeah, right. I come home from work, bringing some friends. Why did such a thing make you uptight and tense? You're high-strung, babe. You're high-strung, babe. And a high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man. I go out at night for a drink or two. It seems somehow that bothers you. You're high-strung, babe. You're high-strung, babe. And a high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man. Monday mornings might oversleep some. You act up, say I'm lazy and a bum. You're high-strung, babe. You're high-strung, baby. And a high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man. All right now. High-strung, babe. A high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man.
All right, I think this mic works. I'm not even sure. But hey, how's it going? I'll switch to the other mic in a second. I just needed to play this direction because it's easier and there's less stuff around. But anyway, let's get to the show, folks. All right, let's see who's in here. You got Zach. How's it going, Zach? You got Paul Lou in the house. How's it going, Paul? Brad, yes, I did get your email. I will be showing that. Got something to show that Brad sent me, which is really, really cool. You guys are going to dig that. Absolutely. And what else do we have? We have Lefty Mike. How's it going, my good friend? The Great Vanzini, little Albert Lee. Yeah, sounded like it, but it wasn't. Let's see, James Severin. Not playing the custom tonight, buddy, but I will probably, I'm trying, it depends if we have time. I want to try something where I'll play the R9, the R6, and the custom all back-to-back with using the same preset, so you guys will get an idea of how different these things are. But if we have time, we'll see. Janice Lala, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. A lot of familiar faces, obviously. We got Sean Zimmerman in the house. We got Quentin James in the house. How's it going, man? Guitar Man 45. And Bam Ozzy. How's it going? Gary Big G's in the house. So I hope you guys are doing well. Why don't I do this? I'm going to switch to the other camera angle and use the other mic for this, and then I'll probably switch back to this angle once we do some stuff with the other guitars. All right, so just give me 1 second to get switched around and all that fun stuff. All right, so give me just 1 second. All right, let me pause that and bring that over here, and let's go to my main cam. There we go. We're back to the main screen. A little bit better, I think, quality mic to go with this part of the show anyway. All right, let me just get all settled in here, make sure all my screens are up and working. It's been well, I was off last week. I just got back. I just finished my vacation today. It was the first day back to work because I was off for 2 weeks, and I took last Monday night off because I was, it was vacation time and we were out biking and all this stuff. So I figured, might as well take advantage of the time. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So give me a thumbs up in there, or just type number 1 or whatever in the chat if you can hear and see everything okay. From what I can tell, everything is working, but you never know with my setup. It can be a little wonky at times. It's very complicated, but at the same time, it's difficult. All right. Good. All right, we got a number 1. That means it seems to be working. So yeah, I was just got back from vacation. We didn't go anywhere, obviously, because of the whole COVID thing. We can't travel. I was actually supposed to be in Nashville last week for Summer NAMM. Supposed to leave last Tuesday, and I would have been in Nashville all week. I had the Gibson party happening on a Thursday night there. That would have been really cool. And I had planned to go maybe to the Gibson factory again this year. And I went to the custom shop factory last year, so this year I was planning to go to the regular factory, the USA one, which is apparently pretty impressive as well. So, but yeah, 2020 came around and kicked us all in the gonads. So didn't really get a chance to do that, but hey, life happens. And other than that, did motorcycling, did some mountain biking, worked around the house, all kinds of stuff. So it was nice to kind of unplug a little bit from regular work and do something different. So I hope you guys are doing well and dealing with all this horse crap that's going on in the world, but we're getting through it. I think in Ontario, we're starting what they call phase 3 on Friday, which is basically more stuff opening, and you can gather with more people and all that craziness, right? So that's a good thing, unless it starts to go the other way again. Who knows? But yeah, and I got a lot of really crazy stuff going on right now in my life that I'm trying to put all the pieces together. And if everything lines up, it's going to be quite a huge change as far as my situation and lifestyle. all kinds of things. I can't really go into a lot of detail about that right now, but let's just say that part one of the puzzle putting together was done today, and that went very well. So now we've got a few more little things to put in place before we actually commit to doing what we're planning to do. And once I get all that together, I will definitely fill you in. And let's just say that if everything works out, it'll be it'll be really really big change, but I think it'll be really good. All right, so you guys still in the chat here, so I'm not seeing much going on in the chat other than, so I just want to make sure that everything is still working on that end. Let me just check something. Yeah. Somebody type something in the chat to make sure that that it's still working. So let's look at a few news items, and then we'll get going to some other stuff in the show. Let's see here. All right, let's do that. Let's do this. All right, so cool. Everything's working. All right, cool. Yeah, so a few news items that I found today and on the weekend that I guess I would say are kind of interesting. There's two bands that played their very, very first gig on this day, July 13th, back in the 60s. There's different, 63 and I believe 68. So these were very popular bands today, but their first gig happened on this day in that year. And the first one is the Rolling Stones. They played their first ever gig, and it was just outside London, apparently at the Alcove Club. That's what I see here anyway. 1963. If that makes any sense, but it's I guess it was a pretty big day back then. 1963, July 13th. The other big band that played their very, very first gig was Black Sabbath. They played their first gig at a small backstreet blues club in Birmingham, England, back in 1968 on this day, and July 13th. So, and we all know what those bands have become. And Janice says she remembers 1963. I don't. I wasn't around back then. I was actually, I don't know what stage I would have been in my parents' life. But, Janice was 11. Yeah, no. 68, I was almost there the year after I came around. So 69 was my year. But, I think things were rolling in the 60s, getting ready. And then we all know what happened in the 70s with the explosion of rock and roll and everything that pursued, past that. So that was but I wasn't back then. If some of you guys were there and remember these days and when, these bands hit the airways and things like that, how exciting that was. And it was getting into some new territory music-wise, so kind of cool. So a few weeks back, actually, let me go to this story. Brian May and Tony Iommi, looks like they're working on a project together. So they've, I guess they're collaborating and they've got some riffs and some things that they're working on. So it's possible in the near future that we might see some new music or an album or something come out with a collaboration between Brian May and Tony Iommi. They're very good friends. They've, obviously they've known each other for many, many years. And I think Brian May says in an interview that he's always wanted to work with Iommi and do something. It never lined up correct. But now I guess they're going to make it happen. Hopefully they do, because these guys are not young anymore, and there's time is limited. So that looks like that's coming together, and it'd be interesting to see what kind of mix or music would come out of those two, because they're very different guitar styles. Obviously Iommi more of a darker type of, he's a riff master, obviously in hard rock, metal, whatever you want to call it. And Brian May is an awesome guitarist as well, but very different in feel and technique. So that would be an interesting collaboration. I'm looking forward to seeing what that turns out to be. And I guess last show, not last week, but the week before, we talked about Santana putting his house for sale. And I believe he did sell it on Hawaii, on the island. But now we've got a couple other houses that went up for sale, apparently. Sammy Hagar, he put up his, I guess it's the LA, it's a house close to LA. He put that up for sale, I guess, this week. 3.9 million, folks. So if you have 3.9 million, you can own Sammy Hagar's LA house, and it's quite the place. He bought it, apparently he bought it for something like 5.9 million. So yeah, he's no, actually he bought it, he bought it for 2.3. He tried to sell it, for 5.9, wasn't getting anywhere. He dropped it to 4.2, and now he's at 3.9. So hey, 3.9, that's a steal. Some of the pictures are down here. It's quite the place if you're interested in a LA mansion. Well, there you go. Big place, man. Jesus. Rockstar money. That's what that'll get you. Right on the water. Didn't see a pool, though. I guess he must have one, but didn't see one there. So, there you go. The other guy that's selling a house is the singer for Queen now, which is Adam Lambert. And he's selling his house for 2.9 million. So he's dropped his price a little bit as well. Apparently he was trying to get a little bit more than that. He was trying to get 3.9, so he dropped it a whole million. So hey, there's a steal for you. There you go. That's his house that he's selling. And that's in the, did it say? Hollywood Hills. So if you're in the market, there you go. He's got a pool and a spa and all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty modern looking house, if you ask me. But man, look at that thing. Yeah. If you've got the means, I guess why not? I guess he's got a band room in there, and he's got all kinds of weird stuff. He's got a saddle. I don't know what the hell that is. It looks like something. Janice is going to put a deposit on it. There you go. So many deals out there. Yeah, right. It's insane. But yeah, he's got some freaky stuff in there. When you kind of look closely, you see all these little things that you wonder, what the hell is that? But yeah, so that's the news for this week. Now on to the guitar search again. Still on the Fender Custom Shop that I've been looking at for over a month now, trying to see if the price will move and see. I did email this guy. He's in Vancouver. I guess it's a music store, I think, or maybe it's just a reverb store that they have, and they have a few guitars and pedals and stuff. But he's not moving on the price, so I'm just holding off. I'm just gonna see, because this is kind of the one that, out of everything that I've seen out there, that I like. So. But I'm in no rush. Like I said, it would be nice to have. I'm not recording, I'm not actively recording right now. But when I start to put, tracks down and stuff for some new songs, I've got about 4 that are pretty much done as far as songs go. And I did have a Strat back then. I had a Friedman Strat that, kind of worked for what I was trying to do for that guitar layering stuff. So I've got about 4 tracks that are, ready to go. I don't have a singer, and that's the problem. I'm still debating on whether or not to even still pursue trying to find a singer to be a singer on this EP that I'm trying to get done before the end of the year. So it's tricky because you got to find somebody that's going to fit that role, and they're going to have part of the music because they're going to write, I guess, the lyrics and melodies as well. So trying to find somebody to do some of that stuff right now, and if not, I'll see in the next couple of months if I'm not really thinking I'm going to get to that as far as finding a singer, then it might just be an instrumental, and I'll add more guitar parts to where I think there would be vocals or something like that, more of a guitar-oriented EP. So that'll be a challenge because obviously I'm not... I'm a pretty new guitar player, so to be putting out your own music as a guitar player when you've only been playing for a couple of years, as far as guitar wise, it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that I think I'm up for as far as that goes, because why not, right? You won't know until you try. So last week as well, I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know if I'll be able to show it. But the last show, I should say, not last week, I said if you have a telly or something that you wanted to show on the show, send it to me. But Brad sent me something. Brad's in the chat here, Brad Egan, and he's a good friend of mine, back from childhood friend, grew up together and stuff. And Brad's a left-handed player. He was a right-handed player, I think, and had an accident in shop class, I believe. Brad'll clear that up in the chat if I'm saying anything that's not correct. But yeah, he's a lefty now, and he's been for a long time, and he's a bass player, but he also plays a little guitar. But recently, he built a guitar for himself, a telly from scratch. Built the body, did got all the stuff together, and I don't know if you bought the neck and then shaped it, or I don't know that part. Maybe Brad will fill us in the chat, but let me see if I can show you that. It's really cool, man. The first time I saw it was today when I went to my email. So let me see if I can do this. We're looking for, I want to share. Can I do that Finder? Okay, so there's the Finder. Now what happens if I do this? So this, I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know how well, but this was built from scratch. My buddy Brad in there. So yeah, so that's correct, yeah. So it's pretty cool. It kind of looks like and maybe Brad can put in the chat what kind of pickups he's got in there. I don't know what the pickups are. You guys probably know more than I do, but it kind of looks like the Andy Wood Sir well, not the headstock and stuff, but the telly, the colors, like the wood and the black pick guard is actually a carbon fiber pick guard. I'll show you a little bit more of a close up on that one, but it's really cool, and it's left-handed. Obviously, he built it for himself, but it looks really nice. Great job, Brad. There's the back of it. I like the wood grain. You see the wood grain through it. And it looks like the neck, the heel joint or whatever is kind of recessed, so that's nice. It's got a nice access to those higher notes. Really cool. And a string through the body. It's got a battery, so I think those pickups are active. Let's see. Sent more info in your text. Oh, okay. I don't have my phone next to me here, but I will check that out. There's more of the back, and there's a close-up of the pick guard is carbon fiber, and it looks like where the volume knobs and the selector, that's carbon fiber as well. Really cool. Okay, so I'm looking Seymour Duncan pickup. Hold on. Let me see. All right, so I got Brad's text here. Let me just see what he says. Three volumes, no tone. So those are 3 volume knobs. No tone, neck bridge, and piezo saddles. Wow, okay. So that's piezo. Each volume has a push-pull to split the coils. That's cool. Telly switches from pickups to piezo saddles. Upper toggle is for the 2 pickups. Wow, that is pretty cool. That is really cool. I'd like to hear that. You should. I don't know if you have the means to, or if you could record a video and show it. Why is my thing like showing two? That is weird. But anyway, really cool. Really cool. Well, there you go, folks. If you're, I guess, good with your hands and doing stuff like that, you can build your guitar from scratch. I know I wouldn't be able to do that. That's quite the project. I like the back of the neck. It looks like it's sanded down to a nice, that's the way I like telly necks for sure. I don't like having any gloss on it or anything like that. So very cool, my friend. Very cool. So let me go back to Safari there. All right, go back here. So yeah, if you have a picture of a telly that you own or a Les Paul or something and you want to get it shown on the show and you have some information about it that you like to share with the community, hey, send it to me, man. I will definitely do that. I'll show you folks some new stuff. All right, let me go back to my main screen here, get rid of that. And that was some news for that going. We have Clive 54 in the house. I see a couple of new names popped in there. Marco's Images. Hey, there he is. Tommy Lee is at a music store in Van. Same as Lon McQuaid, but smaller. Oh, okay. Cool. Say hi to Tommy. That's really cool. All right. Anybody else that I missed here, just tag me in the chat if you do have a question for me. But, yeah, I can build one for you. Yeah, Brad, if you want to build me a Strat, I'll give you all the specs. I'm looking for a 56 Strat, so if you know what exactly to it'd be quite the job. I don't know. The other thing that I was on a show with Brian Stewart and Hack and a few other guys on last Saturday, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before. Brian Stewart did something on a show, and during that show, we were talking about small amps. So if you have you like to get a little practice amp, and I know Hack got one. He got a Black Star. It's just a little amp, and so I have one as well that I really like, and I'll show it to you guys right now. If you're in the market for something like that, what I like about this one is even though it's a small amp and it has pretty cool features, it has effects on it too, like chorus and delay and reverb and stuff like that, which sound really good. But the speaker is really, really good in this amp, so it doesn't sound like sometimes you try these little amps and stuff and they're kind of gimmicky and they sound really, I don't know if hollow is the right word for it, but they don't have a lot of presence. But this one, it's really, really good. So let me show you that. So there we go. So this is a Roland. It's a Roland Cube. Let me see if that'll, there we go. The Roland Cube, and it does in the back. You'll see that you could, if you wanted to, run it with batteries, and you can also run it with power. I think the speaker is, I'm gonna say it's a 6-inch maybe, and it looks like there's a horn or a tweeter, or maybe that's just a port, like a bass port or something. But it sounds really, really good. There's on the back of it, there's also a record out and phones, so you could just plug in your phones and stuff. But on the top, what's cool is there's an auxiliary input, so you could plug in your phone in there, and you can jam along with tracks that would come out through the speaker. And it has an independent type of volume for that, so you can basically adjust your mix accordingly. Oops, sorry about that. So here's I don't know if that'll zoom or that'll focus. Is it focusing? Yes. There's the top of it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, if you're in the market for something like that, in the States, I imagine this is it's probably under 200. Up in Canada, it's just over 200. I think I paid well, when I bought it on special just before Christmas. I think it was last year, and I got a great deal on it. I think I paid $170 with tax and everything. Right now, I if you're buying it at regular price, not a special in Canada, you're probably paying about $225, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's a great little amp. Great little amp. It's kind of cool because, you know, you can have it in another room, in your living room or something like that. You just want to jam. You don't want to run through your whole rig, and you can just bring a guitar into a different room and plug into that and jam away and stuff. It's got a really nice sound. To me, I've tried a lot of little amps. Just, you know, when I was buying that one, I wanted to try a bunch of stuff, and that one really stood out to me. So yeah, so Clive says those are amazing little amps. Yeah, I was totally surprised. Janice says I use 2 micro cubes. I guess that is a new model. I don't know. I guess that's the newest model because, like I said, I got it fairly recent. I probably have 6 or 7 months ago, maybe, when I bought that one. And like when I was trying them all out, that one really stood out to me. I tried the Katana. The little Katana mini thing was really good too, but I found the speakers, or the speaker, I should say, in that amp to really stand out above the crowd of the ones that I did try anyway. So if you're in the market for something like that, there's something you should be possibly looking at. All right, so what time is it? It's not 7:32. 7:32. All right, so do we have time to do this? So I was going to play like part of a song using the R9, playing the same part of the song using the custom, same patch, using my main patch. This is my main. I have like 3 patches that I kind of go through. This one is the higher gain one. And, you know, if you guys want a lower gain one, I can switch it to that. This one is using a rectifier amp model in my Helix. And maybe I'll show you guys the model, because I always show you guys what I'm using. So if I do that, and I go to HX Edit. Let me see if I can switch over to that shot so you guys can actually see the patch. All right, so the patch is, again, fairly simple. On the top, we've got my regular wah. We've got the compressor, which isn't on during anything that I'm playing with gain. It's only there for if I activate the clean amp. We've got an overdrive on that, a Scream 808. This amp right here is not engaged. It's when I go to my clean setting. That's the Jazz Rivet 120. So the amp that you'll be hearing is the rectifier. So I guess it's a Mesa triple rectifier. The cabinet will be the vintage 30 412s with a Royer 121 on it. I did a little bit of a low cut and a high cut on that. I like to do that on the cabs. You can do it with an EQ at the end as well. That's preference thing. I don't really see a huge difference when I'm doing it, so I just do it in the cab sometimes. Sometimes I'll do it with an EQ. It just depends. At the bottom path, I've got 2 pedals that are modulation. So I've got a flanger and a chorus, but obviously those will not be on. I have my reverb and my delay. Those will both be on. And again, I like to run my delay parallel to my reverb, so delay isn't running into reverb and then coming out as a big mess at the end. They run separately and then come out and go into the EQ. And I think, yeah, I do have a little bit of an EQ here where I just tweak a few little frequencies, so nothing major. Fairly simple patch, right? So that's what you heard when I was playing the intro song. You heard that patch running through the R9. So let me see if I can do this. All right, let me go to my things here. There we go. Put that up. Okay. All right. So basically what we'll try, let me go back to my camera here. All right. So what we'll try to do is just, I won't play the full song. And again, it's a song that everybody knows. It's Paranoid. And I'll just play part of it, just the rhythm part, maybe a little lead in there, just a few little runs on the R9. Then I'll switch right after that to the custom. There you'll see a huge difference in tone because the pickups are vastly different from one to the other. not that, you know, that the R9 does its thing really well and it has its own, like, you know, flavor, and the custom has its own thing. And then I'll even pick up the R6, which has P90s, which is completely different, but really cool too, to play with high gain. So this is just an experiment. I don't know how it's going to sound like on YouTube and stuff. Obviously it is what it is, but you know, let's try it out and see if we hear differences and how big of a difference it is. So give me 1 second. I'm going to turn around again to do that part. So let me go to that camera, and I will put my mic here. Let me see. So let me shut this mic off. All right, test. There we go. So you should be able to hear me there. All right, cool. Am I good there? All right, we're good. Well, let's go to the chat again, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, we're good. A lot of stuff to keep track of. All right, so this is with the R9, and that's using the patch that I just showed you, and I'll let you hear what that sounds like without any music or anything here. So let me just shut the mic off so you're not hearing the picking sound. So there you go. That's just like hearing the sound without any backing track or anything. But I like to play with the backing track because you get a sense with rhythm and stuff like that. So we'll start with the R9. The R9 has those great pickups that they're known to have, but they're very different than a custom, and you'll see what I mean. So I won't play the full song. Maybe I'll play like a minute or a minute and a half of this song. It's Paranoid, but it's not Black Sabbath. It's a band called Lilac. I like their version, and it stops me from getting in too much trouble because I'm not playing the Black Sabbath version. All right, so let's see what this sounds like with an R9. All right, so there you go. That was mostly rhythm playing and heavy kind of chunkiness using the R9. So give me 1 second. I'm going to grab the custom, and because I just played it, you should be able to hear a completely different tone. So give me 1 second. Let me just shut this off so it doesn't make a bunch of noise. put that there. Let me go grab that other one. All right, so here we go. I'm getting all settled in again. This thing should be in tune, but I can't remember. I didn't play it this week, so we have had a different humidity levels and stuff, so you never know. So let me just check that. Move this strap out of the way here. I can't play with a strap when I'm sitting down. Some folks like to put the strap on. Not bad. It's still in tune. Or I think it is. All right, so let's do the same thing using the custom. So you've just heard the R9, and if you want, you can go back and watch this video and actually skip all my talking in between and go right to the playing part of the R9 and the custom, and you should hear a huge difference. I haven't changed anything on the Helix patch. The Helix patch is using exactly the same settings. All right, so let's try that. All right, there we go. Let me just show that there. Hey, Guitar Meets Science, Jimmy, how's it going? Absolute Mayhem's in here. We got a few new faces. Black Jack Guitar Nuts back. How are you? So there, and I'll pick up the R6 now, which is another different feel. I'll tell you that the pickups in this one seem maybe they don't sound as loud, but they sound a little bit more, how would I say it? More trebly, maybe more high end, like as far as the frequency goes, and the feel is pretty different. Like playing them back to back, playing the R9 and then playing the custom back to back, you definitely have an appreciation for the neck profiles that are pretty different. Let's put it that way. I think I play a little faster with the custom for some reason. Maybe the frets are different. I think the frets are lower and it just seems like a faster neck to me. But I'm so comfortable with the R9 that I don't know, I just like the feel of that as well. So it's very different in feel, but it works really well. All right, so let me grab the R6. All right, and that's P90s we're talking about with an even bigger neck. I think the R6 is out of the three guitars, the R9 custom, all three of them, the R6 would have the biggest neck of all of them. So let me just put this back without destroying the room here, because there's a lot of stuff going on. All right, so put that here. All right, give me a second. So you guys should still hear me. So I'm putting back the custom without dropping anything. All right, custom, you sit. Let me grab the R6. So the R6 is definitely a different beast. It's different in pickups, obviously, and it's different in feel. A very different feeling guitar out of all three, which I really like. I like the differences. Okay, so let me just have a quick look here. Let me put that in there. All right. So again, it's kind of hard, like right now, because I'm taking time to switch guitars and I'm talking in between, and then I play. But if you want, after the stream is done, just go to this part and listen back to back to back, and you'll be able to tell a huge difference. So let me do that. Let me see if that's I gotta check if this one's in tune. Yeah, sounds like it's in tune. All right, so let's try doing that same thing. We're going to do it with this guitar again. Settings completely the same on the Helix, using the same patch and everything. And these are P90s from Gibson. Again, the neck profile on the R6 compared to all of them is a little bit bigger. It's closer to the R9, and R6 are pretty close. I think the R9 is a little thinner than the R6, but not a whole lot. All right, so let's give this a shot. All right, so anyway, I figured I'd play the whole song on that one because might as well finish the demo with the full song. All right, let me shut that off. So I think you'll hear a difference when you listen back. The P90s are really good. I mean, every time and especially when I do something like this where I test them back to back to back, I just love these P90s. And you know, it depends on the system you're putting it through, how much of you know, how much noise they generate when they're, you know, at idle, let's say. But they're not bad. These ones are not bad. I've actually played other ones, and I guess these are from the, maybe the custom shop ones are different than the regular ones, but I had a classic, just a regular American classic that had P90s in it from Gibson, and they were much louder than these ones for some reason when you weren't playing in the hum and stuff like that. But you know, some people like I didn't mind it. When I'm playing, the tone you're getting out of that, it's worth it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we still have a little bit of time. I think we've got another 8 minutes. Let's throw in a completely different a completely different guitar in the mix. Let's bring in a Telly, and then you'll be able to go back to the video and compare R9, custom, R6, and then throw in a Telly in there, and let's see which one you guys think is the best. All right, so give me 1 second. All right, put the R6 back up on the shelf, and let's grab the old Telly. The Telly's she's a rocker. She's standing, I think she can compete with the Les Pauls pretty good. All right, so I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera because I've got a monitor here and the camera's over there. I keep forgetting to look at the camera on there, and I'm looking at my iPad and stuff. So let's have a look. Right now we're going to play the Telly. This is a, I guess, 1951 reissue. It's, and all I'll be using is the bridge pickup. The neck pickup is a humbucker in this one. It's a Set Lover humbucker. I guess I should plug this thing in if I'm going to get any sound out of it. And I don't have to tell you guys how different this guitar is from a Les Paul, because it's not a Les Paul. Very different feel. Still really cool. Using the same patch, we're going to rip a song out with this one, and then again, the goal of this is to go back to the video and just basically listen to the first one, fast forward to the next one, fast forward, so you get back to back to back to back, and you'll really see a difference. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me bring up the. Let's see if this one's in tune. Sounds in tune. All right. You don't want to try it? I guess I'll just play part of this song. I'm not going to play the whole song over again, just the first part, so that at least you'll be able to compare that. Craig Flowers, how are you? Craig Flowers, did you say last night? Yes, I do need a singer. I've got about 4 songs ready to go, and they're hard rock. I don't have a singer because I'm not a singer, so I am interested in collaborating with a singer, a hard rock singer, somebody that can, you know, listen to a piece of music and has lyrics and can come up with something cool, and you know, maybe collaborate with them. So yeah, so if you know somebody, or if you are, just send me a message and we'll see what happens. Let's see, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. That SG must sound pretty good through that rig. I'm not sure. I think I missed that one from Jimmy. Brian Stewart, how's it going? I thought it was going to say Strat. No, I don't have the Strat yet. I'm still on the hunt for that Strat. So let's see what happens. All right, so give me a second. We'll play just that one part with the Telly, so you'll be able to go back through the video and just kind of go to the clips. What I might do is, after this video is done, I'll just grab the video and do a complete edit and just post it as, you know, back to back, just on the video, so it'll be easier for you guys. But if I don't get that done in the next couple of days and you want to go back and see, you can do it. All right, hold on. So there you go. We did a test. hopefully, well, I'll go back and listen to it myself through the video part of it. It's hard to say in YouTube if you really hear like the little subtle differences of certain notes and accents and things like that with certain guitars. This one is definitely, I feel, kind of a snappier type of sound. Like when I'm hitting the strings, it feels like it's giving me that, like that snappiness, which is a telly, which I'm sure that they all do. So hopefully that was cool. Well, it's something to do, right? So Guitar Meets Science like this one the best. Yeah, you know what? A lot of folks that I've played, back to back guitars and just showing them different guitars through the Helix and different tones and stuff. I get a lot of that feedback when I play this one. This telly is really it's really special. So it's but they all have their thing. The Les Pauls do what they do, and the telly like this would do what it does. And I'm sure if I get the Strat that I'm looking for, it'll have its own feel and its own style. And again, this is using the same patch throughout all the guitars. It's kind of a high gain patch. I mean, if you can experiment and put a different, like a patch with a lower gain or something more classic rock style, and then try all these guitars through it, and you'll probably come up with a different thing, right? So it's just something, a little fun experiment. So what time is it? Oh, so it's already 8. So thanks for joining me, guys. It was nice to get back into the swing of things. Again, I've got some crazy stuff going on right now, and like I said, I'm putting the pieces together. If it all works out, it's going to be a major change as far as lifestyle and as far as my life goes, and I will share that with you once I get into putting a few more pieces of the puzzle together. Today went very well with getting the first piece out, and this is kind of cryptic when I'm talking to you guys. You're going, what the hell is he talking about? I understand that, but I just can't say anything about it right now because for certain reasons. So but just keep in mind that if everything works out, it's going to be really cool, but it's going to be a huge shift and a huge change, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of work until it is all finalized. So thanks for joining me. Every Monday, I try to come on at every Monday at 7. Sometimes, especially during the summer, I might do like 1 week and 1 week off in 1 week. It just depends what I've got going on. And like last week, I was on vacation and just wanted to take some time to do something different. But keep that in mind. During the week, I like to maybe do a few off off the cuff type live streams just because I'm testing hardware and testing some stuff. So, you know, feel free to jump in on those and we can have some fun. And if there's anything you want to see or discuss at that point, I can definitely accommodate that. Again, if you guys, like we showed Brad's telly tonight, and if you haven't seen that, if you got late in the show, definitely go back and watch the beginning, the first half hour where we showed Brad Egan. He was in here. He built his own telly, and it's pretty cool. So have a look at that. And if you guys have cool guitars or something you want showing off on the show, and you can send me a little bit of information about it, you know, what you like about it and what, you know, what kind of pickups are in it and all that stuff, I'll share that with the community as well. So it's just something we do. We like to do stuff together and hang out and talk guitars and talk gear and talk music. And, you know, it's a great thing to have a community like this because, especially these days with everything that's going on in the world, I think, you know, this is a great diversion and something that we can all do together. And we're all from different parts of the world even. You don't have to be even in the same city to kind of, you know, and maybe someday, who knows, when things get back to some normalcy and we can get a group of us together and go to like a NAMM show or Sweetwater or something, that's really cool. I've done that like last year at Summer NAMM. I met up with some YouTubers like Brian S. and Guitar Hack and, you know, a bunch of other people that I met there. And that's awesome when you get to hang out in person and, you know, do some cool stuff and go to guitar stores together. And that's really cool too. So, but this is, you know, hanging out online and doing these types of shows and hanging out with the community. You know, it's the next best thing, I think. So thanks for hanging out. And I will, I guess I will talk to you next Monday, if not sooner. And if something comes up that I can't do next Monday, you know, I won't be here. But I'll fill you in on more details about the big thing that's happening in my life as I get the pieces together and move forward. So thanks a lot and have a great week, folks. Take care.